Holy crap. This is pretty kick-ass. What's up, guys? In this video, I'll be reviewing-ish my sort of usage of this guy. Sorry for the glare. This is the Meris Hedra by Meris. So this company makes some very high quality equipment, from 500 series units to pedals to t-shirts, apparently. Anyway, so I got this pedal a few months back and I haven't had the chance to review it. A lot of work, other videos to work on, and some production kind of pushed this guy back, but I attached it finally to sort of my production workflow, and this thing sounds great. And I'll show some demos in a little bit. Still, my overall experience with the unit has been positive, and I want to show you guys how this little unit, how the Hedra can be used beyond just a little pedal. It is technically a guitar pedal, but it's honestly a full-blown production tool. So while you guys see some porn shots on the little Hedra right now, I want to run through some of the more the noteworthy specs. So the first one, this little unit's marketed as a 3-voice rhythmic pitch shifter, or rhythm prism, whatever that means. It has real-time controls for pitch and time offset. Let's see, microtune, this thing, the microtune little knob right there, or will detune the pitch for the 3 voices that you're using. So the more you detune it, it'll create a very gentle chorus effect, which is really cool. One of the beauties here, it has stereo input. The input's in the back. As you guys can see, it's a little stereo or mono input. For me, that's important. The input can be changed from line or guitar level. The multifunction expression jack, and this gets a little complicated. This goes beyond my testing for the unit, but the expression MIDI input works as you can hook up a expression pedal to it and then assign what effects you want to be controlled with using an expression pedal. Or you can also hook up their MIDI system, which transmits MIDI data via 1/4-inch jack, but I don't have that, so I can't test it out. So now that we ran through the technology, I want to show you how this guy's hooked up in my personal studio back there. So in my personal rig, the Hedra is hooked up through using the stereo input. And I use both left and right into my patch bay that goes directly into my UR816, Steinberg UR816. So let's do that really quickly. I have a stereo line out here from my interface, separate from the master output, that goes directly to this TRS connector, and that will go into the input of the Hedra. And then I have the left into left here, and right into right, that go back into input 7 and 8 on my UR816C. So the way I use this in Cubase with my production setup is I use this as an external effect in my system. So anytime I want to send the signal from the DAW or my or Cubase, this can be used as an external effect and then back into the system. And then from there in Cubase, you can change the levels and play with the signal inside the DAW. Okay, so now that you've seen this setup, I'm going to show you the song that I worked on, just to showcase what the Hedra can do as part of a production tool, not so much a guitar pedal. Because I've seen plenty of videos where the Hedra is being hooked up through a guitar. We've seen and heard many demos of pitch shifter pedals like this one, for example. This is the Quintessence from TC Electronics, but they have dual functions, right? They can be used for other instruments like synthesis or vocals. So I want to show you guys how I use that, or started using the Hedra in those workflow scenarios. Okay, young lady, what are you doing on my chair? You want to produce with me? Let's produce together. We're both going to co-produce. This is Yama, by the way. This is a really ugly Shiba. I'm just kidding. You know what? You smell. I think she just ate. Here, go play. I have this vocal track here. Who the hell sent me this? I forgot who the hell sent me this, but this is a great vocal track. I think I'm ready again. Oh, it's lovely. It's haunting. It's dark. It's like my soul. Okay, this is the signal dry. Wish I could get over you. If you love me, say my name. Now, for the purposes of this track, you can hear a little bit of digital processing in the track, because I had to expand the track from its original tempo, which is 105 to 110. Because I think 105 is a little too slow for my taste. But for this demo, that's more than good enough. Okay, so there it is. And then I added I don't know if you guys used Neoverb by Isotope. That's a beautiful sounding reverb. It comes with a lot of amazing plugins. Not plugins, a lot of amazing presets. This is Neo Verb.
If you love me, say my name. No more time for pretend.
Oh, it's pretty. So what I added are a few polysynths with my complete control system here. All of them are using the Massive X by Native Instruments. This thing is one powerful piece of freaking software. They are doing an arpeggio in C minor. So let's just solo the synths.
Bringing it back to the start.
I'm just gonna mute the vocal. Okay. Right, and then when we get to the actual singing, it's holding chords, very basic chord progression, and the arpeggio is going up, as you guys can hear. Right? Hey, Alma, what is it? Great, lovely. And then the last part, of course, you need some percussion. Right? Some deep, distant percussion in the back. This track is still in production, so cut me some slack. It's still fairly dry sounding, but the elements are there, right? You don't want to start polishing a track before it's finished. That's silly. So this is the main track, the red one here, this big one that I'm resizing. And then the second duplicate here is using Vocal Synth 2 by Isotope. This is what it sounds like by itself. It's very dim in the background, just to give a little bit more of a dimension to the voice. And the level's very low in the background. From the main track here, the red one, I'm sending. This is where some of the cool features from Cubase kick in, where I'm using the Hedra as an external effect. So if you can see here in the sends, I'm sending the full signal to the Hedra in my studio here, and then I go open the window to external effects. You can see here that I set up the Hedra. Okay, so once that's set up, you can click T and it opens up this window and it creates a new track. Since I already created it, I can't create another Hedra effects track because it's using the same outputs or inputs and outputs. But you can see here, right here, this pink track here is the Hedra as an external effect through my system. I set up automation here. You can see where the Hedra will turn on. This is the mute automation. So let's just play it from here, and then you should hear it clearly. So pretty. I love that. Let's hear the Hedra by itself. I'm going to turn off the automation and just solo the Hedra here.
I could get over you if you love me, say my name. No more time for pretend. If you love me, say my name. I'll follow you to the end.
Oh, so good. Okay, so as you can see, I set up the key all the way to C, and then holding Alt changes the key type from major, minor, melodic, minor, blah blah blah, all the way up to chromatic. This is how much of a chorus effect you want from the voices. So let me do that so you can kind of hear it. So you can hear how drastic the chorus effect is. But I keep it kind of like at 9 o'clock. And then the mix, right? Dry channel, dry sound, and then the chorus. And I leave it all the way to the right, so I can just get the full effect and blend it into my and I do the blending in my DAW. The first pitch here is at unison, but I'm gonna mess with it a little bit. Right, so that's off. 2 octaves, 1 octave, and then through all of the minor steps. Right, pitch 2 is off.
No more time for pretend. If you love me, say my name. I'll follow you to the end. Wish I could get
and then the last pitch.
you. If you love me, say my name. No more time for pretend.
I have to mess with the glide settings, so you can change how drastic you want the correction to be. Whether this one's choppy, so I can set it up to more of a glide, so it's not as harsh. But this is what I'm playing with so far. And then this the bypass button, right? But since it's an external effect, I just keep it on. Okay, so overall, I'm still playing with the damn thing, but it's giving me some really cool results. If anything, I can play with some harmony combinations that sort of are outside of my creative scope, so that giving me new ideas and stuff to play with. Yeah, there is software out there that can do it, but there's also something fun. It's also in real time as well, by the way, or as close as possible to real time. So you don't have to worry about plug-in latency and stuff like that. Yeah, there's always something fun about having the tactile feedback with playing with the knobs. You really can't get that with dragging your mouse up and down and stuff like that. So I definitely appreciate having hardware over software to play with. Guys, I hope this was informative in some form. I know my videos at the moment are very chaotic, sort of unorganized, because I'm still kind of working with what should my channel be more of informative, reactions, reviews, all of the above, right? We'll see. Peace out.